Today we are joined by a truly inspirational artist. She started singing in her uncle's band, the Donovans, at the age of 7. She founded the Stiff Gins, performed in the Black Arm Band, has been nominated for multiple Deadly Awards, including Female Artist of the Year, has released solo and collaborative work with Archie Roach, Ruby Hunter, Paul Kelly, and now she's back with her first single from the second album with the Putbacks, Pink Skirt. Welcome, Emma Donovan. Hello.
Oh, hi. I just got a little bit teary thinking of it's like the second time we've done stuff with the Putbacks.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been forever. It has actually.
Yes, 6 years. How is this one different to the previous one, Dawn?
I feel like more of us. It was a bigger collaboration, meaning like all of us were in on it. And I say that because like when we did Dawn, like I didn't know the Putbacks that well. I'd met them through Mickey Ma, the bassist, and Rory McDougall. And that time that I had known them mob was through Black Arm Band days.
Yeah.
And so I think it was the end of like one Dirt Song tour. We were up in Galkaringi, and I remember I think I was living in NT at this time because around 2010 or even 9, and Dukes, that's who we call Rory, the drummer. Rory McDougall, he's like, Ems, you got to come and sing with us one day. And I'm like, really? Yeah, I'd love to. And then I left the territory, and the first mob I was looking for was them two now to play with the Putbacks. And so it feels like forever.
I heard an interview that you did back then, and you commented about the fact that you don't play a musical instrument, and I was stunned because you didn't put any emphasis on the fact that your voice is such a musical instrument.
Well, I'm getting stronger to say that now. And even like today, like I've just come. Excuse me for being in my car, by the way. I've just put it out there. In COVID times, I've been teaching at the school. So I'm running between teaching at a school and then picking up my little ones at a school. But I'm getting more confident to say that. Even with students at the school today, I was telling them, like, we can write music now, just now with our voices. We can write melodies, and because that's the only way I know how. Like, I pick up a little bit of guitar. I'm lucky to play I'm not going to pay my initials. I always tell people 3 chords. I'm limited. But yeah, no, look, this album, I feel like there were so many other different ways too that we wrote it. Like with Dawn, me and Mick were pretty tight, from our days with Black Arm Band. So we wrote a lot of stuff together, and a lot of it we worked around my vocal and like some melody ideas to start. Whereas this album, the crossover album, geez, it sounds good saying it. It came from like lots of stuff. So Tommy had some ideas on his own. Simon Maven had some ideas on his own, and then of course the Putbacks have got they've got ideas for days. Their mob for years, I'm sure. And that's where I feel like they kind of held me too. Like I felt like maybe I didn't have a lot of strong. Maybe there was 1 or 2 strong vocal ideas that started out as a strong vocal and lyric idea, but the rest come from the Putbacks. And I don't want to divide up too much, but we were all in. We feel like it was a really big collaboration this time.
Well, Pink Skirt you wrote as a tribute for your grandma. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, we all got funny little stories of Nan, and I think when I think of her in the pink skirt, it was kind of something I always used to get a bit shame. Like you get when you're a little younger, there's always these little things that maybe a Nan would have done or said, or maybe the way she dressed used to get shame. But it's my biggest memory of her in this bright pink dress that she used to wear. She was so dark, and thongs. We'd pick her up at Central Station, and it's kind of like one of my biggest memories. But the other thing is she used to come down with no bag. She'd come down with a pillowcase, and we'd pick her up at Central Station, And it was always like, you know, because all our family was from the country. That was the thing, when mob travelled, they'd come down on the train. So I wanted to write about that. And then I, you know, recently just lost mum. This is a very special album because I talk a lot about mum in this. And it was a time, it's going to be hard for me to do a lot of media around this because without getting too emotional, I become a mum as well. In the time that, you know, that I lost mum, I've become a mum to 2 little girls. Happiest times, yeah. So I just pinpointing some things that I'd say to mum too. Like Nan was really confident in the Gumbanga community when she married my grandfather. So she was a Dungari woman. She was from Kempsey, yeah. And I suppose sometimes you always ask about one side of the mob and you never ever think where the other side of their family or their other maiden or, you know, like, other clan or mob is from. So that's why I was bringing up all of that stuff about Taruka and, you know, Dungari country and Kempsey up around Burnt Bridge, you know, Mission, which is where Nan was from. And kind of them yarns that I would have with mum about it. You know, where's Nan? Where is Nan from? Like, I don't know.
It's truly inspirational, and I have to say you are such a great role model as well. Just a few more questions. If you were to describe your sound in food form, how would you describe it?
Oh, I kind of had a little bit of a yarn about this the other day. I think I was trying to describe maybe how music sounded through food. I think that's something I was trying to do. I suppose that old food or something that's kind of chucked together, but also something that's been, you know, cooked or maybe handed down for a while. Nan's got a good recipe to old chicken soup and you know, and mum used to make it. And then now that mum's gone, I feel bad for my uncles because when they're sick, you know, my mum and them used to make it. And I caught myself making it for my uncle the other week when he was a bit crook. So yeah, I guess like, you know, any old recipe or any old soup that's been passed down, that's me.
And lastly, what is your scene?
I guess my scene's my family. It's I'm always a mum now first. I guess with everything that I do, I have to always consider my girls. And long before they come along, I was an auntie. You know, like I felt like I was this Auntie Ems. I've got lots of nieces and nephews. Working back at the school more recently, I talk to a lot of students, but I make sure they call me Auntie Ems. I do that for respect, and it's how I like to respect people in general, is always going back to that family kinship, especially Aboriginal way that we acknowledge mob and people. And yeah, that's my scene, is my family. I want to teach my kids about, you know, that family and how friends can be family too, you know.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck with the release.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for supporting us and getting it out there. It's it really means a lot.
And I can't wait to see you perform live.
Can't wait to play live. Come on, I can't wait to play live again.